You know, an FBI investigation has gone completely sideways when the White House press secretary has what can only be described as a full-blown tantrum on live television. But before we get to Karoline Leavitt's epic meltdown over the Tom Homan bribe allegations, we need to understand how a simple undercover operation turned into one of the most embarrassing law enforcement failures in recent memory. What happens when the FBI sets up an elaborate sting operation to catch one of Donald Trump's allies accepting a bribe? But the whole thing backfires spectacularly, so bad that even their own leadership has to admit they found absolutely nothing. Well, one of the most awkward political scandals of 2025, complete with undercover agents, a bag of cash from a Mediterranean chain restaurant, and a White House that's absolutely furious about the whole thing. This is the bizarre story of Tom Homan's Trump-appointed White House border czar and the $50,000 bribe accusation that's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. So who exactly is Tom Homan? He's the guy Trump picked to lead his promised mass deportation efforts and crack down on illegal immigrants. Think of him as a chief enforcer of Trump's hardline, wacky border policies. But before rejoining Trump's administration, Homan was running his own consulting firm called Homeland Strategic Consulting, helping companies navigate immigration and border security issues. Here's where things get really interesting. According to multiple U.S. media reports, sometime around August 2024, the FBI launched an investigation into Homan, but this wasn't your typical white-collar crime investigation. No, the FBI decided to go full-on undercover ops, complete with agents posing as business executives. Picture the scene. FBI agents, probably wearing their best business casual outfits, approach Homan with what they claim is a legitimate business opportunity. They're allegedly offering him immigration-related government contracts, probably making it sound like the deal of a lifetime. The whole thing was supposedly recorded because, of course, it was. And here's the detail that makes this whole story even more surreal. But quick, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to subscribe because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Okay, so the alleged bribe money, all $50,000 of it was reportedly handed over in a bag from Cava. Yes, the Mediterranean restaurant chain. Yeah, you heard that right. The FBI allegedly used a Cava bag to deliver what they hoped would be incriminating evidence. I can only imagine the conversation at the FBI headquarters. Hey, Johnson, grab that bag from lunch yesterday. We're going to use it for a federal sting operation. But here's the plot twist that nobody saw coming. According to the White House, Homan never took the money. The timing here is real crucial. This investigation reportedly started in August 2024, which was smack dab in the middle of the presidential campaign season. Trump's team is claiming this was a deliberate attempt to discredit somebody they knew would likely end up high-ranking in government position with Trump because of his criminal background. Trump won, unfortunately. And here's the important legal detail that makes this whole situation like even messier. At the time of the alleged incident, Homan wasn't even in government. He was running a private consulting firm. So even if he had taken the money in the brown paper bag, which the White House vehemently denies, it's unclear what law he would have actually broken. This brings up a fascinating question about the nature of government corruption and investigations. Can you bribe somebody who doesn't hold office? What exactly would the crime be? The whole thing gets even more awkward when you consider that Homan, apparently aware that his consulting work might look sketchy, announced that he would shut down his firm and recuse himself from any discussions about border contracts once he joined the Trump administration. It's almost like he was trying to avoid exactly this kind of controversy. Now, here's where the story takes a remarkable turn. FBI Director Kash Patel, who was probably hyped at the chance to distract from his own failures for 15 seconds, and Deputy Attorney General Tom Blanche both confirmed that the probe happened. But they also delivered what amounts to be a complete vindication of Homan. In their official statement, they said the matter was subject to full review by FBI agents and the Justice Department prosecutors. They found no credible evidence of criminal wrongdoing. Think about that for a moment. The FBI's own agents and Justice Department prosecutors reviewed their own colleagues' work under the Trump administration and essentially said, nope, don't see anything wrong here. That's about as definitive as you can get in the world of federal investigations in the Trump administration. The Trump Justice Department ended up shutting down the case entirely, apparently because there simply wasn't enough of a case to begin with. But the White House wasn't content to just let this vindication speak for itself. They decided to go nuclear on the whole thing. And that brings us to the moment that has been making the rounds on social media. When reporters pressed White House Secretary Karoline Leavitt about the allegations, she absolutely lost it. Let's take a look at exactly how that went down.
I mean, can you just speak to, did the president ask the Justice Department to close the case, and does Homan have to return the $50,000?
Well, Mr. Homan never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight, number one. Number two, this was another example of the weaponization of the Biden Department of Justice against one of President Trump's strongest and most vocal supporters in the midst of a presidential campaign. You had FBI agents going undercover to try and entrap one of the president's top allies and supporters, someone who they knew very well would be taking a government position months later. Mr. Homan did absolutely nothing wrong, and even the President's Department of Justice, even Kash Patel's FBI, looked into this just to make sure. They had a number of different prosecutors and FBI agents who looked into this. They found zero evidence of illegal activity or criminal wrongdoing. In the White House and the president stand by Tom Homan 100% because he did absolutely nothing wrong, and he is a brave public servant who has done a phenomenal job in helping the president shut down the border.
And there you have it, my pals. That's what a White House press secretary looks like when she's been asked a literal question by the press at a presser. And if you notice, Leavitt didn't just defend Homan, she went on the offensive, calling the entire investigation a politically motivated hit job by Joe Biden and his administration. She accused the FBI of trying to entrap one of Trump's strongest supporters and allies right in the middle of a presidential campaign. Coming back to that remarkable display, it's clear that this case has become much more than just a failed investigation. The White House framing it as part of a broader pattern of what they call the weaponization of the Justice Department under Biden, who, by the way, is not president anymore. Whether you buy this narrative or not, it's undeniable that the investigation has become somewhat of a political lightning hot rod. What makes this story particularly fascinating is how it reads like an SNL cold open that somehow escaped into real life. These days, reality has become so absurd that I'm genuinely I can't tell if I'm supposed to be doing political commentary or if I've accidentally wandered onto the poor man's set of the Weekend Update. Picture this: undercover FBI agents, secret recordings, bags of cash in none other than Cava bags, because apparently even political corruption has gone Greek artisanal, and a target who we believe, if we believe the official spin, had the good sense to say thanks but no thanks to this $50,000 bag of cash while being secretly recorded doing the exact opposite. At this point, every day I wake up and I open my phone and it's like that South Park episode where they can't tell if something is just a parody or a regular Tuesday in America. The scoring system is simple. If it involves 3 or more federal agencies and sounds something like something Trey Parker would write while having a fever dream, it's probably real. But listen, the broader implications here are actually quite serious. This case highlights the ongoing tensions between different parts of federal government, especially when the administrations change. It raises questions about the appropriate use of federal investigation resources and whether investigations that begin under one administration should automatically continue on to the next, especially when evidence appears to be thin. As of now, Trump is standing by his buddy, Tom Homan. The borders are 100%, according to the White House. The investigation is closed, the case is dismissed, and even the FBI and Justice Department prosecutors have said there's no credible evidence of wrongdoing. But in the court of public opinion, this story will probably be more remembered for Karoline Leavitt's explosive reaction and meltdown than for the actual allegations itself. One thing's for sure, this won't be the last time we hear Tom Homan's name in the news. As Trump's point man on immigration enforcement, he's going to be at the center of some of the administration's most controversial policies. And now, thanks to this bizarre FBI sting operation and the White House's volcanic response to it, he's got his own personal political drama to add to the mix. And if you've enjoyed this story, please take a moment to make sure you're subscribed, leave us a comment, and let us know what you want to hear more of next.